Hello, I'm Middlesex District Attorney Marian Ryan. I hope that you're all having a safe and healthy start to the school year. You know, this is a time when we're doing lots of things differently. I'm sure you've all gotten used to wearing masks, and we're keeping each other safe by being socially distant. You might be doing school remotely. But one of the things that we've certainly learned over the last 6 months is how important technology is. Technology has allowed us to do lots of things. You've been able to communicate, I'm sure, with your family and friends online. Your parents may be working online. You may have even seen your doctor online. So those are all great things. But there are some things to consider in keeping yourself safe and having a fun, positive experience online. And we want to talk about a few of those today. And the first is really being careful about the information that you share. You know, sometimes, especially now when we're all a little bit bored, you might just be busy talking away with people and not really be thinking about, is this something that I should be sharing with people online? And what is helpful, I think, probably one of the things that lots of you have been doing during this time when we've been home more, is doing some puzzles. And if you think about your personal information as pieces of a puzzle, the more pieces you give me, the better I can see the picture. So the more information you put out there about yourself, maybe where you go to school, what your school's mascot is, what kind of a neighborhood you live in, all of those, they start creating the picture of who you are. And it's not really safe to be sharing a lot of that. So think about what you're putting out there. Have some conversations with your parents about what they're comfortable with you sharing. And really importantly, remember, the reason you have a password is just like having a lock on your bike or a lock on your house. It's to keep other people out of your possessions. So your password is really important to keep to yourself. The only people you should be sharing your password, even your very best friends or somebody that you really like, is not a candidate to share your password with. You should only be sharing those with your parents. The other thing to do is be sure that, just like using a password or a lock, you're checking on your privacy settings. Privacy settings make sure that the information you're posting online, your pictures, your jokes, the little videos that you're making, only get shared with the people you want to see them. And privacy settings don't say the same all the time. So just always be doing a little checkup, just like you check the batteries in your smoke detector. Check and make sure that your settings are staying the same. Often, especially again, as we're home and you're looking for things to do, there can be a lot of pressure to start seeing how many followers you can get, how many friends you can make. Just remember, I am certain that everybody watching this video, at some point, a grown-up who cares about you said, we don't go places and we don't talk to strangers. And you all know that, and that's a way you keep yourself safe. But just because you're talking to somebody online, if you don't actually know that person, you could recognize them in person, you don't really know who they are. So even though you might be chatting with them or playing a game with them, they are still a stranger, and you still have to be careful. So be sure that the people you're talking to online are people that you really know, that you could pick out somewhere who they are, because otherwise you shouldn't be communicating with them. And if somebody asks you online that you do not know, that you haven't seen before, if you can meet them somewhere, or if there's a way you could arrange to see them, you never, ever want to do that. And if somebody makes that ask of you, you want to be sure that you're telling a grown-up right away. And if anybody asks you anything online, whether it's to send them some pictures, to meet them, to call them on the phone, make sure that you're talking about that with a grown-up. The other thing is, you know, everybody loves to make people laugh, and sometimes we all think things that aren't the kindest. But once you post something that's not kind, it's very hard to take that back, and it starts traveling around all over the place. So you should be treating people online just the way you would like them to treat you. If you wouldn't like anyone to post something, a thing about you, you shouldn't be posting it about someone else. And even if you disagree with somebody about whatever it is you're talking about, it's certainly possible. As the famous Judge Ginsburg said, it's possible to disagree with people without being disagreeable. And remember that you can really make a difference. If something is happening online, you're all very smart. You know that you're supposed to be protecting yourself. If something makes you nervous, or something's happening even with one of your friends, not directly to you, and you know it's something that we should be worried about, somebody asking them to send some pictures, to meet up with them, be a good bystander and tell a grown-up about that. So trusted adults should always know anything that's making you nervous online. I want to thank you all for spending a few minutes watching this. Remember, technology has been a great help to us. These are just ways we want you to be very safe and positive about it. So thank you.